Denver struggling to stay afloat, facing pressing budgetary concerns after 38,000 migrants have arrived. Now, you guys saw that article, that news report that we looked at this morning, right? In that news report that we looked at this morning, the school was all gung-ho about taking all these extra migrants in. Shout out to Jada Informant. What's good with it? That was this morning. They were talking about how they were willing to take all these people, all these new migrant students into the schools. But now, as you guys can see, like I've been saying for a long time, because I've been putting a lot of information together and tracking a lot of these trends, Denver is struggling to stay afloat after the arrival of 38,000 migrants. And yet and still, they're still trying to figure out how to fix this. The only way to fix this is to stop cooperating with the sanctuary cities and start sending some of these people back. Okay.
How do you run a hospital system when you have thousands of migrants coming in for free healthcare? Denver has reached a critical point. Lydia, who's with me? She has the story. How many migrants are showing up at the hospitals in Denver?
You know, the hospital says they've counted around 8,000 migrants, but they're responsible for roughly 20,000 visits. We're talking about Denver Health. It's the city's public safety net hospital, so anyone can go there regardless of their ability to pay. So take a look at this. In 2022, the hospital...
Real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching. I appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, we got 34 people watching and we got 36 likes. If everybody can bang on that like button and get us to 50 likes, that would be great. Also, if you guys haven't shared the stream or subscribed to my other social media or channels, make sure you guys take a moment and do that as well.
Hospital accumulated roughly $120 million worth of services that were not paid. But then last year, unpaid care grew by about $15 million. At the same time, the city saw its migrant population swelling. So hospital executives say the hospital is operating at a near break-even pace, and the migrant crisis is adding strain.
The migrants have been using Denver Health as their primary care location. So even when they settle in... And
so check this out. I want people watching on the replay, make sure you comment specifically regarding this and timestamp this part. The people who are paying the tax so that people who don't pay the tax are able to get prioritized and get health care first, and the people that are paying the tax are getting less of what they're paying more for. How do you guys feel about that? Do you guys think that that's okay? If you think that's okay, give me a thumbs up. If you think that that's not okay, give me a thumbs down.
There's no more cost to the city. There's going to be a cost to Denver Health because they need ongoing health care. Our emergency room is frequently full and we have to divert patients. I think the real tragedy is they often just don't get care anywhere.
Now,
all right, so there's that. All right, so now here it says Colorado's hospital has joined the ever-growing list of cities that have become overwhelmed by the influx of migrants, with over 38,000 asylum seekers arriving in Denver in the past year. The mile-high city has struggled to accommodate the new arrivals, who have inundated the city's shelters and hospitals, prompting state officials to enact a limit on how long migrants can stay in state-funded rooms starting February 5th. The city initially paused the discharge of migrant families from shelters on November 17th to assist the increasing number of the new arrivals. However, after seeing a dramatic uptick, the city is now housing 4,500 migrants and will resume discharging migrant families. Denver's Deputy Director of Communications, Jose Salas, told the Post that the city will extend its previous length of stay policy for families from 37 days to 42 days. Over 40,000 asylum seekers have been sent to Denver in the past year. Denver Post via Getty Images. Oh, I'm sorry. That's this part up here. The changes will be rolled out over the next several weeks and come as Denver experiences a significant surge in arrivals from the southern border, as well as pressing budgetary concerns, Salas says. A Venezuelan family told NBC News that they just received notice from the city that they will be evicted from the hotel where they have been living. Just yesterday, they started throwing away the toys and bicycles in the common area, the mother of 3 girls said. We don't know where we will go next. So now, again, they remember they came to the United States and didn't know where they was going to go. Now they're here and are having these issues because these migrant shelter facilities can't sustain, you know, them being here, and they're still saying that they don't know where to go. You know what I'm saying? So make it make sense. Dr. Stephen Frederico, a pediatrician and chief of government and community affairs at Denver Health, told the outlet that the hospitals like this have become a safety net for the city. I think it's been an unheeded call so far in terms of who's going to be responsible for healthcare of this population, Federico said. In the meantime, it falls on safety net hospitals like Denver Health. Okay. Denver's mayor estimates that the city will need an additional $100 million to cover migrant needs in 2024. Federico says hospital officials have begged state and federal officials for help in covering $10 million in unpaid medical bills from migrants. Emergency room Dr. Christy Rodriguez told NBC she worries asylum seekers may not be able to get the help they might need after being discharged from the ER. They should be lucky that they got help at the ER. If you guys agree that they should be lucky that they got help at the ER, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, then give me a thumbs down. And real quick, shout out to DSB for supporting the channel for 12 months. Definitely appreciate it, bro. Make sure you guys throw some flames and some radiation emoji and some ducks in the chat for DSB. 12 months of membership support, man. See, this is what I'm talking about. Y'all see that? We got long-term people over here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the long-term crew. So now here it says, I don't mind being busy. I see a lot of patients. I can stay late, Rodriguez said, but I don't know if this person is going to get medicine filled. I don't actually know if this person is ever going to get into a pediatrician to be seen and taken care of. For me, that's the part that pulls at my heartstrings. And that's one of the reasons why they're doing this story, is to pull at people's heartstrings. Would you guys agree? They're doing these type of stories to try to pull at people's heartstrings. That's the reason why they're doing these stories. Denver schools have seen 3,000 new students enroll in the system since July. Denver Public Schools has seen an additional 3,000 students enter the system since July, putting a strain on their budget as funding gets set based on the district's population. The previous October, according to Adrian Indres, who oversees multilingual education for the district, most of the migrants have come from Venezuela, and many have come with little to no schooling, Indris says. So I don't know if you guys saw the stream that I did earlier, but this is that woman who was in the classroom with those kids. All right. Shout out to my man, TD Hip Hop Media. Definitely appreciate TD Hip Hop Media. TD Hip Hop Media been a member of the channel for 13 months. So show him some love. Throw some radiation emoji in the chat, flames, and some ducks from my man, TD Hip Hop Media, supporting the channel for 13 months. You know what I'm saying? Me and TD been making content, collabing on content together for what it's been like 3 years now. Shout out to TD Hip Hop Media, man. You know what I'm saying? We've gotten a lot of new kids really quickly with lots of needs, Indra said. It's been getting creative in a lot of spaces. It's been bringing a lot of other departments in, and it's an adventure that we're glad to be on. They're saying that now. They all always say that at first. But then when they see that there's no end in sight and that nobody's coming to save them, then all of a sudden they go back on their word. You know what I'm saying? After that, then it's like, whoa, this is a little bit too much. We can't deal with all this. Shout out to Shamika Gray. What's good with it, Shamika? All right. So now here it says most of the migrants entering Denver have come from where? Venezuela. How many times we going to have to say this? Even though they keep putting those pictures of all those African immigrants up, there it is again. There's the proof. Most of the migrants coming in are coming from Venezuela. So why? I don't understand where people are getting these ideas that there's all these African immigrants. Probably from those pictures that the New York Post keep putting up and Fox News. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Both hospital and school officials have been able to handle the influx thus far, but worry that the rate of growth is not sustainable. Y'all know what to do when we say not sustainable. They said this, not me. Both hospital and school officials have been able to handle the influx thus far, but worry that the rate of growth is not sustainable. To date, Denver has served over 38,000 migrants, costing the city a whopping $40 million, Salas said. The mayor's office agreed that the city is floundering under the increased number of residents, telling the Post that current projections indicate that the city may have to cut as much as $180 million from its annual budget to accommodate the added population. While we recognize families need as much time as we can give them, we must once again limit the amount of time that families can remain in a shelter, Salas noted. All right. Denver Mayor Mike Johnson says at current projections, it might indicate that the city has to cut as much as $180 million from its annual budget to accommodate the surplus of population. The news comes on the heels of Governor Greg Abbott announcing that the Lone Star State has bused more than 102 migrants to so-called sanctuary cities, including over 37,500 to New York City. While the Big Apple and Chicago received the bulk of the migrants, Denver has reportedly received over 16,000 since May, according to Abbott's office. Now, you want to know what's crazy? Let me ask you guys this. What media outlet have you ever heard that talks about how many migrants Texas takes in?